Atomic Habits. Chapter 4. Why you keep forgetting your goals. The first law. Make it obvious. You set the alarm for 6 a.m. to go to the gym. You meant to call your mom back. You told yourself you'd start reading before bed instead of scrolling. And then, somehow, none of it happened. Again. Was it laziness? Lack of discipline? Bad character? No. And James Clear has a very specific, very uncomfortable reason why. You never actually made it obvious enough. In Japan, train conductors do something that looks almost comical to foreign visitors. Every time they approach a signal, a speed indicator, a stop marker, they don't just glance at it. They physically point at it with their finger and say out loud exactly what they see. Signal, green. Speed, 60. Platform, clear. They point and call every single checkpoint, every single time, on every single journey. Tourists find it strange. Engineers find it brilliant. This system, called pointing and calling, was introduced because of a deeply uncomfortable truth about the human brain. When we perform a task we've done hundreds of times before, the conscious mind essentially checks out. The basal ganglia takes over, remember chapter 3, and the action becomes so automatic that we stop seeing what we're doing. We operate on autopilot. And autopilot, while efficient, misses things. Important things, dangerous things. Pointing and calling forces the brain back into conscious awareness. The physical gesture of pointing, combined with saying the observation out loud, activates multiple parts of the brain simultaneously. Visual, motor, auditory. It breaks the autopilot. And the results are extraordinary. Studies of Japan's rail system found that pointing and calling reduces errors by nearly 85%. Now, what does a Japanese train conductor have to do with your gym habit? Everything. Because the same principle that keeps trains safe is the foundation of the first law of behavior change. Before you can build a habit, before you can change a behavior, you first have to see it clearly. You have to make it obvious. Here's an exercise James Clear introduces that sounds almost too simple. And yet most people who try it are genuinely shocked by what they discover. He calls it the Habits Scorecard. Take a piece of paper. Write down everything you do from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Every single thing. Alarm goes off. You reach for your phone. That goes on the list. You brush your teeth. List. You make coffee. List. You sit down to work but open Twitter first. List. You eat lunch at your desk. List. Then, and this is the part that stings, go through the list and mark each behavior with a plus, a minus, or a neutral sign. Does this behavior help the person you want to become? Plus. Does it work against that person? Minus. Is it neither? Neutral. No judgment. No shame. Just awareness. The point of this exercise isn't to fix anything yet. The point is that most of us are running dozens of behaviors every single day that we have never once consciously examined. We don't notice them because they're automatic, invisible to us. And you cannot change what you cannot see. The scorecard makes the invisible visible. That's the entire job of step 1. Now we get into the actual tools, and the first one is backed by some of the most striking research in the entire field of behavioral psychology. Researchers ran a study with 2 groups of people. Both groups were asked to exercise more over the next 2 weeks. The first group was simply told to track whether they exercised. The second group was asked to do one extra thing. Write down this sentence: I will exercise on day at time, in location. That's it. One sentence. The specifics didn't matter. The point was simply to commit to a when and a where in advance. The results were almost embarrassing in how clear they were. In the first group, the ones with only general motivation, 35% exercised consistently. In the second group, the ones who wrote the one sentence, 91% did. 91% from one sentence. Clear calls this an implementation intention. The format is dead simple. I will behavior at time, in location. Not I want to exercise more. Not I'm going to try to read. specific, committed, locked in. Here's why it works. The most common reason people don't follow through on intentions isn't that they don't care. It's that they never decided exactly when and where the behavior would happen. They left it vague, and vague intentions evaporate under the pressure of daily life. The moment you assign a specific time and place, the behavior has a cue to attach itself to. The habit loop has a starting point. The brain knows what to look for. The second tool in this chapter takes implementation intention one step further, and it might be the single most practical technique in the entire book. It's called habit stacking, and the idea is elegantly simple. Instead of trying to attach a new habit to a specific time and place, which requires you to remember to start, you attach the new habit to an existing one. The formula is, after I current habit, I will, new habit. After I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 2 minutes. After I sit down at my desk, I will write 3 sentences. After I brush my teeth at night, I will read 1 page. You already have dozens of habits that fire automatically every single day. Waking up, making coffee, sitting down, eating lunch, brushing teeth, getting into bed. Every one of those is a ready-made cue sitting there, unused. Habit stacking turns your existing routines into a scaffolding for new behaviors. You're not creating something from nothing. You're connecting something new to something that already works. The key to making habit stacking work is choosing the right anchor. The existing habit needs to be something you genuinely do every single day without exception at roughly the same time. Coffee is a perfect anchor. Brushing teeth. Sitting down to open your laptop. These are reliable. After I finish work is unreliable, because when exactly does work finish? The vaguer the anchor, the weaker the stack. Here's something Clear says in this chapter that completely reframes how most people think about discipline. We tend to think that people with great habits are more disciplined than us, more motivated, stronger. But research consistently shows that's not true. The people who appear most disciplined are actually just better at designing their environment. They don't rely on willpower, they rely on cues. They make the right behaviors so obvious that doing them feels like the natural, default thing to do. Anne Thorndike, a physician at Massachusetts General Hospital, ran a study inside a hospital cafeteria. Without telling anyone, without any announcements, posters, or campaigns, her team simply rearranged where water bottles were placed. Instead of only being in the drink fridges, they put water bottles next to every food station, at every register, all across the cafeteria. 3 months later, water sales had increased by 25%. Soda sales had dropped. Nobody was told to drink more water. Nobody was educated about health. The environment simply made water more visible, more obvious, and behavior followed. That's the power of making it obvious. Not motivation, not willpower, just visibility. So here's the question this chapter is really asking you. Look at your environment right now. What behaviors are the most obvious? What's sitting on your desk, on your coffee table, on your phone's home screen? Whatever is most visible is what you will do most. Not because you chose it, because your brain follows cues, and the loudest cue wins. So here's what Chapter 4 is handing you. Quietly, practically, without any drama. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more discipline. You don't need to become a different person before you start. You need to make the behaviors you want to build impossible to miss. Put the running shoes by the door. Put the book on your pillow. Put the guitar in the middle of the room. Remove the friction between you and the cue. Write the sentence. When and where. Stack it onto what you already do. Design the space around the person you're trying to become. The first law isn't about forcing yourself to do hard things. It's about making the right things so obvious that you'd almost have to try to avoid them. Chapter 5 takes this even further because once something is obvious, there's still one more ingredient the brain needs before it will actually move. It needs to want it. The second law, make it attractive, is where desire, dopamine, and temptation bundling come in. And trust me, that one is going to make you rethink every reward you've ever given yourself. One thing before you go, try the Habits Scorecard today. Just write down everything you do from the time you wake up. That's it. No fixing, no changing. Just seeing. And if this series is helping you think differently, subscribe, because Chapter 5 is the one most people wish they learned years earlier. I'll see you there.